on this week's episode of Ramz'S Hoosier Pawn.
I'm Jerry, and I brought in a Don Quixote relief carving, and we're selling it because honestly we got too much stuff.
I have come into Ramz'S to sell several items. Slot machine, cars that are collectible, they're in their boxes, unused, and I have a mantilla.
And I have an old cribbage board here that's dated 1879.
This is a self-portrait that was done by Captain Alexander Lowry.
This is Randy Ramsey, and this is his pawn store. He works here with his wife Melanie, sons Corey and Chad, and daughter Amanda. Many items here have a unique story. And after 25 years in the business, he's learned that you never know what's coming through the door next. This is Ramz'S Hoosier Pawn.
You never know what's going to come through the door next.
Yeah, what is this? This is pretty interesting. What'd you get?
Yeah, this we received, I think there was about 7 photographs of the Golden Knights parachute team with the Army. This is their jumpsuit. This is their skull cap. We were talking earlier, I don't know that this would do a lot of comfort if your head hit the ground.
I think it wouldn't.
It might keep your head warm.
Yes.
But it is nice looking.
So it looks like it's from the Army parachute team, huh?
Yes.
That's pretty neat.
One of the photographs we had shows 40 of them linking up together.
Wow. So 6, 7 in that one.
Yeah, there's multiple
6
in the next beside you.
I'm Jerry, and I brought in a Don Quixote relief carving, and we're selling it because honestly we got too much stuff, and I'd like to get maybe 600 to 700 out of it.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing today?
What have you got with you today?
No, I brought in a Don Quixote relief carving.
That's a nice looking piece.
Yeah.
Boy, where did this come from? Do you know any
It
history?
was bought in Barcelona, Spain in 1967. It's got a thing on the back that tells about it. I think they were on a Mediterranean cruise or something.
Yes, it has recorded that it sounds like it was a cruise that was acquired on 1967.
Yeah, flagship cruise. Yep.
And have you seen anything like this before, Corey?
Yeah, when I've traveled in some of the island spots, you see this kind of carving, and some are a little bit more crude and some are very detailed. And of course, the more detailed it is, the more expensive they are and the larger it is.
Oh. Did you hope to sell it or to get a
Yeah,
pawn?
I wanted to sell it.
Okay. If you wouldn't mind, I'll have Corey step back and get a little information on it and see what we can find out for you.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay.
So this, in fact, is an art piece that was based off a character, Don Quixote, in the 1600 Spanish work of literature. Do you have any idea what you wanted to try to get out of it?
I'd kind of like to get 600 out of it.
Based off of my research, it's looking like I'd need to be about 400. The value you're coming up with is not far off of a full retail, I think. So,
could you go to 5 maybe?
I really think I need to be at 4, just because I don't think it's going to give me a much margin to get it sold.
Yeah.
And a lot of these, when you do go to Africa or some of the islands that create a lot of these, can really be bought pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting them back is the most expensive part.
Yeah, that's okay. 400's okay,
All right,
I guess.
great.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
I can get him written up?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up next, this is Randy Ramsey, and this is Ramsey's Emporium. He works here with his wife Melanie and his daughter Amanda. You never know what's coming through the door next.
Turn of the century 14-karat white gold filigree diamond and sapphire bracelet.
A lady's antique bracelet with rose-cut diamonds.
A beautiful freshwater pearl necklace.
If you're looking for one-of-a-kind items, go to Ramsey's on North Farabee Drive in Lafayette.
You know, Amanda, you never know what's going to come through the door next. Look at this postage stamp dispenser. I remember going to the grocery store, the drugstore, and other places like that to get my stamps. It was crazy.
What do you use stamps for?
You don't remember those machines, do you?
Nope.
That's because they're from the 1970s and you weren't born yet.
Nope.
I have come into Ramz'S to sell several items. I was hoping maybe I could sell the whole group for maybe $350, $400.
Hi, why don't I help you with that?
Oh, thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
I do have kind of a load there.
There we go.
Good.
What do you have there?
Well, I've got several items that I'd like to show you. I think first of all, I have some collectible cars here. Dinky.
Oh.
And I've got Hot Wheels.
Oh my gosh.
Matchbox. No, I have no Hot Wheels. Matchbox.
Matchbox.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And this is very collectible. They're all in their original boxes.
Wow.
They have not been played with.
Oh my gosh, that's a Greyhound bus.
Wow.
Yes.
I love it.
This here is the one that is probably the most valuable.
Oh, the Dinky is?
Yes, this
wow.
this dinky right here.
What does that mean? Is it just the
That's-
name of the car?
Right. No, that's the company. Like this is
company.
Matchbox.
Oh,
the
got
dinky
it.
was a long time ago, before the Matchbox and the Hot Wheels.
Your boys would love these.
I'm sure they would.
No little boys. They're not to play with.
I did research this one, and it is quite desirable, and it excuse me, is quite expensive.
You know what? I think we need to call Corey in on this because he's the expert in the toys and things like this.
Good. Let's have him.
Okay. Corey?
Yes. How can I help, Mom?
Hey, we've got some adorable little antique cars. This one she thinks is the most valuable. It's a Dinky from the Dinky Company. And then she's got several little Matchbox cars. I can see how the boys would love these.
Yeah.
I think
You
this is
probably
a
don't wanna-
dinky. This is a dinky also, and it's quite collectible. They have not, like I say, have not been played with. They're in the original box that they were. This one here was shipped in.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you probably don't want to play with most of these, though. Oh. They're worth more than just a standard
Okay.
Matchbox and stuff.
So
Did you
what
have
do
some
you
other
think?
items, too? Or
I did. I do. You want me to pull them? Oh, this here is a real jewel. This is a slot machine. It's
Little
very
toy one?
old. They
yeah.
still have them. It's from Nevada, and it's very, very old. Today they have them, but they're all plastic. They're not really this big.
This
you
one's
know.
a heavy
Gotcha.
one.
This is a heavy one. It actually works. You put money in it, and it does roll, and it pays.
Oh, wow.
But
Yeah, you don't get that too many times
fortunately,
out
I
of the
don't
toy
have
ones.
any. I don't have any money in it.
Alrighty.
But it does work.
Okay.
And it's a vintage toy.
Very nice. Yeah, we've had a few in that are similar, but I don't know if I've had this exact one in before. So, and then
We have one more
what's your
thing
last
here.
item?
Yes, I have a mantilla. It's from Spain. Quite dramatic. Many years ago, if people have these, you would have seen them draped over a grand piano.
Oh,
Gotcha.
how gorgeous.
Yes. And it is quite old also. It's been packed. I think some people at times have worn them like
As a
this.
shawl.
As
Yeah.
a shawl.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
But you would see them a lot on
That's very
pianos.
pretty.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
to display them.
Yeah, we've had a couple similar items in, and people have used them as drapes over chairs and just more of a
Absolutely.
decorative piece. So I can see how it can be
Absolutely.
used in several different ways.
Right.
So,
So I'm not as familiar with these, but I have had them in. If you wouldn't mind, I might take a moment and do a couple checks on this.
Okay.
And since I've had similar ones to this in, I might want to do a check on that too.
Good.
And
it.
I'll be right back
Do
with
you
some
happen
answers.
to know before you
Oh,
go,
yeah,
do you
right.
know if there's any damage on this anywhere?
as
If
far
there's-
as I can
on the
tell,
peak?
no.
Okay.
But It's been packed away. I've had it packed away for years and years and years. But we can examine it closely. At one point, no, there was no damage.
Yeah, I think there's a little couple pulls, but those can usually be
You
pushed
can
back
just weld that,
retucked.
that, or retucked, or sometimes you
Pulled
can just
through the
clip
other
them
side.
off
Yep.
Very
with a
very
pair
good.
of scissors.
Okay,
Right.
we'll wait for your answer.
Okay, great. I'll be right back.
Oh,
You won?
if there was money
You
in
did?
there, I would have
Oh, you got
won
all
the jackpot.
sevens.
Yeah, all sevens.
Congratulations,
Yes,
you're the winner.
I would have won. I would have won the jackpot.
Now, did you ever see this on top of someone's piano?
Yes,
Did
only
you?
in pictures. Only in pictures, yeah. In
Now,
magazines.
Do you have pictures of
I do not.
them?
I do not.
All right. Well, I had a little time to do some research on them. I guess before we get started, I probably should ask if you had any idea what you wanted to get out of the group here.
No, I don't
No?
have any
Okay.
idea out of the group. If I don't get something that I feel is reasonable, then I probably would just keep it.
But you're
and that's
wanting
fine.
to sell.
I would like to
If-
sell
if
it.
it's
Yeah,
enough.
I would
Okay.
like
Okay.
to sell
Okay,
it.
great.
Yeah.
And all three pieces you're thinking about possibly selling?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
great.
This
well-
is kind of an heirloom.
Yeah,
So-
right. So you've got some
but I got
some stuff invested in that
but
as well.
you know what? My memories are they're not worth a dime to anybody else.
Yeah, right.
It's just that, it brings back lots of memories to me.
Yeah. Well, on the cars, just starting out with that, since that stuff I do a lot, I had some guys that were coming in fairly often to buy these, but we've started to have that dwindle off a little bit. So most of my purchases have been as if I'm going to sell them online. I do get a little bit of guys coming in from time to time, but I have to be really critical about the box shape as well as the car.
Right.
So these guys here, these are pretty much, the Matchbox are all out of the 50s and 60s.
Right.
And so they're all pretty.
Seatbelt.
Yes, it looks like you have a seatbelt. So wear
Seatbelt.
your seatbelt.
Oh, I didn't pay any attention to that.
Yeah, these are fairly common ones, and I think we had discussed before both of these are going to be a little better. The dinky here, this one here, if the labels were all lined up exactly and not having pill up, also the little siren part is missing on the top, so that was a little bit different than some of the ones I was finding at the Premier. Like it
I
would
wonder
look,
if that had a top
it
on
would
it
have
at one
looked
time.
like
Would have looked like
a
that.
little light sort of.
Yeah, I wonder if
Yeah.
originally it was on there. and it's
Yeah, it
gotten-
could have. Sometimes I've had people get these brand new in the box and they pull them out and the factory, it's missing from the factory. So that's possible too, if it was never played with. The decals over time, any kind of plastics or things like that that are glued will start to pill up. But sometimes you'll get some really premier ones. I did see a couple with the box having no wrinkles and things like that, hitting
Yeah.
quite high numbers. When you get a little bit of the wear on the box and the little top part here missing, I was
Gotcha.
seeing obviously drops as those go on. Based off of what I'm seeing online, if it just had some light wear and wasn't missing this, it looked like it was hitting about $40 to $60 just by itself. With that missing, I'm probably going to want to be a buyer about $25 on that one by itself.
That one
This one
by-
here, just based off, they made several versions of this. One was actually in a box similar to this, and they also made one with a
Yeah.
little plastic. Yeah, they made one with a little plastic show-through section, so you could actually see the car inside.
I see.
So the variations are all different. Based off of this one, looks like it's a mailer and
It
did
is,
not come in
yeah.
a box like this. I would be about $10 on this one, and then these here are going to average out about $5 a piece. So that I can get a grand total for you on those, but that's where I'd be at. I think it's going to come. If I'm doing my math, it's about 60. I think.
That's correct.
Yes. So $60 on that. So you can think about that
Is
while
that
we're talking
the
about
best
the
you can do
other.
is $60?
It's yeah.
Let's move it up just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Well, let's see where we're at on the rest of the stuff, and we'll see if we can come up maybe with a package price. But I think
Okay.
that's
Let's talk about
based off
that.
of that by itself. That's pretty close to where
Let's
I want
talk
to be
about
on.
the slot machine.
Okay.
For a minute.
Yeah, the slot machine, there's a lot of different slot machines out there that are quite a bit bigger or older, but these are some of the nicer toy ones that they have. On this particular item, did you have any idea what you thought you wanted to be in? No. Okay.
Not none.
When
But
we-
I just hit 4 sevens.
Oh, nice.
And I don't
Was the
have-
payout good or?
There's no money in it.
Oh, okay.
But you got to push this button here if you win, and it drops the
Nice.
coins. Yeah.
It all comes down to, again, it's condition. So anything that has the premier pop-out reds or it's like pristine on the condition of it, this is still in really nice shape. I was finding a lot of examples online. As you said, they have transitioned over to something quite a bit cheaper and smaller.
Oh yeah.
So these
Smaller,
older ones are
more
a little
plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is all metal.
Yep. Some of the examples, the ranges I saw were in the 60 to 80 range, final sales, and so I probably would be about $40 on this by itself.
Okay.
And that would
All
give
right.
me some leeway for, just people looking at the condition of
Understandable.
it. So on this one.
Understandable.
So now we're down to the Mantilla there. Mantilla, sorry, excuse me. And that's going to be the... It's more of a piano drape, as we talked. It can be a shawl. I've seen people use them as artwork pieces on walls.
Well, in Spain, the women wore them.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, they did. They
As
wore
a
'em.
shawl.
Yes.
Yes, I've seen
yes.
pictures with those. They're beautiful.
Yes.
Yes.
Not only did I check online, but I checked with my dad, and just based off of what we've had come in, and you may have more sentimental attachment to
right.
this than what we're going to offer, but we've had a couple in recently. We've got actually one in the foyer right now that is draped over a chair, has the real nice fringe work, and has some nice detailing on it, and we're in about the 75 range. When I was checking online, yeah, and when I was checking online, you are correct. I saw a couple that were a little bit better pricing than that. I saw a couple hit out in the 100 and a quarter range. Based off of what I'm seeing come in and how I'm seeing it move in our local area, I would need to be about $50 on this. So I don't know if that's close to
everything 150.
yeah.
You couldn't do
yes, that's correct.
75 on this?
I think it's going to be close to what we'll want to put on it. There's a little bit more detailing stitch work on this than the ones that we've had come in. So I do agree with you. It may pull more, but just with how infrequently they're moving, that's where
how you're gonna.
I hate to put more into it and just have it sit with like the other ones have been. So
Okay. All right.
but I do think it's pretty. I'm not.
So is the 150 for everything
Is that
okay
close
with
to
you,
what
or
you're
do you
What do
want
we
to
have
sell
here?
part of? We have
You
60.
couldn't do anything better on the cars.
If it will make the deal work, I will give an extra $10 to make the. If you think you're thinking about the group together.
160 for
Is that
everything.
sounding?
160.
Yeah. Is that getting close to where you think you'd like to be?
No, but I
No.
might take it.
But you might take it. Now, if there's 100 in the slot machine here, then we're
If
good.
I had some quarters in there, we'd be in
Sure,
good
we'd be
shape.
set.
Fill it with some money.
Few gold
and give
coins.
you more. Well, it certainly is up to you.
Okay, you got a deal.
All right, great. Well, we will get you taken care of.
Thank
I'll get
you
you right up
very
on the
much
register.
for coming in.
Thank
It's nice
you
to
for
Thanks for
having
bringing
me.
some really unusual and fun items.
Yes,
Good.
thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much.
We'll take care of you at the register.
Thank you. Well, I did not get what I would like to have gotten, but I realized they'd done a little more research on it than I had done, so the cars especially were not worth as much as I had anticipated. But I think I did well on the slot machine, and I did okay on the mantilla. So I'm comfortable with what I am leaving with.
Coming up next on Ramz'S Hoosier Pawn.
Remember when we started Ramsey Exchange on Elmwood Avenue in 1988 with a little jewelry, coins, antiques, and collectibles?
Yes, and people had such needs for borrowing money, so we became the county's first licensed pawn shop so we could help.
Then we moved everything 20 years later to North Fairby Drive, doubling our space and renaming it Ramsey's Emporium.
And we still care about people and their needs, giving as many loans as we can on items of value.
Get help from the caring people at Ramsey's Emporium.
You never know what's going to come through the door next.
And what is this that came through the door?
Well, it's a Western Electric Railroad train dispatching telephone system.
Whoa.
It's kind of unusual looking, huh?
How in the world did they get this to stay on their head? Okay, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
I like mine better.
Yeah, this is just one of those weird things that comes in every day.
Very strange.
I'm Walt, and I've got a couple items I bought in. Got an old set of dominoes. I'm not sure if they're any value or not. And I've got an old cribbage board that I've had in a closet for about 40 years. It's dated 1879. It's a Lamont. and I've been told it might be worth some money, and suppose some people say maybe $75, $80. I don't know, but thought I'd bring it in and see if there's any value to it or not.
Hi there, how are you today?
I'm pretty good. Evening.
Great. What do you have for us?
I'm Walt, and I've got a couple of little items here. An old set of dominoes. I don't know where they come from, how old they are, but they've been sitting in my closet for quite a while, and I thought I'd just bring them out. And I have an old cribbage board here that's dated 1879.
Ooh, I like
it has
that.
the steel pegs in the bottom of it, and I had found this about 40 years ago in a house that my wife's mother and father lived in, and they passed away, and found it buried up on a shelf down there, and just been sitting in my closet ever since. They had a sheet in there back
awesome.
1800s of a running game. People had come and played together.
Oh my gosh, I don't
and
ever,
it just
I
kind
never
of fell
played
apart.
this.
It was all rotted, so I don't have that anymore. But anyway, I've had it sitting there, and I've seen your ad, and I thought, I think I'll just go out and see if it's worth anything.
Great,
or
so
not.
have you played cribbage before?
Oh yeah, oh yes. I
I've
have
never
another
played
board.
it,
I have
but
a
let
wood
me get
board.
my son Corey to help
Okay,
us because
fine.
I'm not too familiar.
Okay, fine.
Corey, can you come and help us, please? He's got a couple of games. One is the cribbage game, which has got the metal pegs.
Okay.
And it's in great condition. And then this is says Sunshine Cloverleaf.
I don't
it's in
think
this
that has
box.
anything to do with
yeah.
the dominoes.
I don't think it does either.
Yeah,
it's
it's
got
a
old dominoes in it.
Old
They're very
advertising
old.
tin that somebody just happened to be able to fit their dominoes in, it looks like. The things that would have really triggered this to be, that would have really triggered this to be a little bit more pricey item would be as if it had an advertising on the back of the domino, if it was made out of some either bone or ivory or something like that. Also would have helped if it was in the original box.
Right.
And on the cribbage board, they used to have some of those that were, the little pegs were done in bone or ivory also, and that would have made it more as well.
Okay.
We've had a few items in very similar to this recently, and based off of what I've sold the other ones at, well, first off, what did you think you wanted to get out of this?
I had a friend of mine, he does a lot of things. He said, I'm worth, $75, $80 from me. He said,
Yeah.
he didn't know, he just guessing, but he
Right.
buys a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
and toys and stuff, and games and stuff. And that's what he said.
Yeah, we are super close then. Based off of what I was able to get out of the other ones that were very similar to this, we'd want to make an offer about $70. Do you think that'd be right in the wheelhouse of where you'd want to be?
Pretty much the ballpark right there.
All right, yeah, it sounded like we were really close
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
So
I
if you want to go
got
ahead and do
prices.
that, I can take care of you at the register and we can get you a paid out
Yeah,
done.
I'd like to go ahead and
All right,
sell it.
great.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank
Let's get
you
this done.
very much,
talking to you.
Walter.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up next on Ramz'S Hoosier Pawn. This is Randy Ramsey, and this is Ramsey's Emporium. He works here with his sons Corey and Chad. You never know what's coming through the door next.
A Native American transformation mask.
Authenticated Jim Brown and Walter Payton autographed football.
Government issue Colt 1909 .45 caliber.
If you're looking for one-of-a-kind items, go to Ramsey's on North Farabee Drive, Lafayette.
You never know what's going to come into Ramsey's next.
Here we had someone walk in with a Japanese military dress uniform, complete shipping box, has the belt, pants, gloves, has tassels, everything you can imagine. It's from the 1930s.
Are these primarily used for ceremonial purposes, or?
I think it's more for a dress type of military from the 1930 time period. There's a lot of military memorabilia that comes in their store. We're excited when we see something new. We buy all kinds of uniforms, we buy hats, we buy daggers, we buy swords. If you have something along that line, we'd be happy to see it.
Hi, I'm Dave. I came into Ramsey's today to let him take a look at a painting which I have, which I'm hoping to get somewhere between $3,500 and $4,000 for.
Hi, Dave. How are you doing?
Randy.
Hi.
I brought something for you today. I don't know.
What is it, a Mona Lisa?
Yeah, it's like the Mona Lisa, only it's a little bit different. The smile's a little different than
Oh.
the Mona. This is a self-portrait that was done by Captain Alexander Lowry. He lived after the Civil War. He was in the Civil War, and he lived at the Indiana State Soldiers' Home his last few years.
Oh, okay.
And took violin lessons from the lady that had this painting. And I think this is the photograph from here in town from which he may have painted that portrait.
Oh, wow. I'm pretty sure just about a year ago, I had one of his paintings come in, and I believe they determined that it was his sister that he had painted.
Yes. Well, he did a lot of different paintings. They had an exhibition here at sponsored by the Wabash Valley Trust in '76, and in that they showed a number of the paintings, and he has paintings in the Philadelphia Museum of Art and at West Point. He was from Philadelphia originally, and this is all some of his work. I wish this were Abraham Lincoln or
General Custer would be good
yeah,
also.
That would work.
But this is his actual self-portrait.
This is his.
And locally at our soldiers' home, he painted a number of the Civil War soldiers in there, didn't he?
Yes.
Okay.
And they're still there in the Lowry Library is named for him. At
Very
the
good.
soldiers' home, the Lowry Library is named after him.
Very, very nice. Is it something you're thinking about selling or getting a loan on, or?
Well, I think I would sell it.
Okay. Did you have an idea of what kind of money you're looking at?
I was thinking somewhere $3,500.
$3,500. I guess for us, we have, I don't know, 100 pictures and paintings setting all over the store. This is more unique because it's local. Just based upon what we sold the one of his sister that he had painted, which we sold it for lower than that, but I would think his self-portrait would be worth a little more, probably be more like $3,000, if that would work for you.
Well, I'll really consider that.
Okay.
I'm not going to say yes to $3,000 today, but if that's what it comes to, and we know that, then
Very good.
That may be it.
Or if there's something in the store, and I know we've done trading in the past.
We sure have. I think I have a ring here that I got from you.
Very good. Very, very nice, and nice to see a local painting like that. Thank you for coming in.
Well, thank you. It's always a pleasure to do business here.
Thank you.
I'm going to take Randy's offer and consider that, and I'm going to be back in touch with him here probably within the next day or so.
On next week's episode of Ramz'S Hoosier Pawn.
I'm Jeff. I brought in today a National Homes truck to be sold, and I was hoping to get $500 out of it today.
And whatever you get out of this is going to be your raise for the year, so
Okay.
you better pull well.
And I did not win. So no raise. Oh,
No
nuts.
Christmas present for the kids this year, I guess.
I guess not.
What do you have with you today?
Well, we have some bronze statues here, mostly of warriors.
How you doing today?
Doing fine, thank you.
What did you bring for us today?
Well, this is an 1886 Springfield rifle, Civil War era,